Welcome to this session on ensuring the compliance with the quality standards. And this would be the last session on managing quality in the execution phase. Compliance with regulatory, industry, and organization quality standards is crucial in project execution. It ensures the legal adherence, product reliability, and customer trust. In this video, we'll cover the regulatory compliance and the role of quality control and techniques for monitoring and controlling quality process throughout the execution. And to start by understanding the regulatory requirements. Regulatory requirement compliance ensures that the project aligns with the legal and industry mandates or standards. It refers to adhering to the laws, industry-specific guidelines, and the best practices as well. The non-compliance can result in legal penalties, reputational damage, or project failures sometimes. And regulations vary by industry. For example, if you are running, let's say, a financial project is different from a healthcare project. Each of these has a different, let's say, regulatory compliance laws that you need to follow to ensure, not having any legal penalties or losing your reputation by the customers. And some of these you might have heard of the ISO standards or the GDPR for the data protection, the FDA used in the financial, let's say, sector projects, the OSHA. So all of these are regulations that you need, for example, to comply with, and it depends on the project nature by itself. For example, let's say in a healthcare or a pharmaceutical uh, sector, the FDA or the Food and Drug Administration regulation requires a strict compliance with the drug manufacturing process. And non-compliance can lead to a product recalls or legal penalties and loss of public trust. Here are the key industry standards for quality compliance, for example. So ISO 9001 is an international quality management system known as the QMS standards. You have also the PMI quality management guidelines, which, which it has the best practices for the quality planning, assurance, and control. There are several, let's say, compliance based on the sector, like the IT. You have the ISO ICE 27001, which is related to the information security. In the construction field, you have the OH or the OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. When it comes to the healthcare, you have the HIPAA, the Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act. So it depends on the nature of project that you're running. You need to ensure that you are complying with these different regulations based on the nature of your project. Now let's see the role of quality control in execution. Quality control ensures that the deliverables meet the required standards before reaching to the customer. And we talked a lot about quality control techniques such as the inspection, testing, and process monitoring in the previous session. Also, it helps to, and the role of quality control in the execution, it helps detecting the defects early, reducing the cost and rework, as we mentioned before. And we also look to the proactive versus the reactive action. The quality control is a reactive action, whereas the quality assurance is a proactive approach. For example, let's say in a software development projects, that the test engineers perform code reviews and automated testing to detect bugs before deployment. And that will cause a prevent of costly fixes after the release. We have here a list of sample on the techniques that is used for monitoring quality compliance. So monitoring quality compliance involves using a quantitative and qualitative methods. The statistical sampling, it's a tool that where you select a random deliverables for quality checks. So let's say if you have 10 deliverables, you may select 6 of them to conduct your quality check on it. You have also the control charts. The control charts as one of these techniques that is used to track the performance over time. The control charts, for example, it shows you the number of defects in a software project, for example, the number of defects in every phase or in every release. And you could see the trend whether your defects are increasing or decreasing. The third technique here you have is the checklists and process audits. And that is used to verify the compliance with the standards. The non-conformance report or the NCRs, it's a document. It's a document that shows the deviation from the quality expectations. So all of these mentioned techniques, it can be used for monitoring the quality compliance. Now let's see the quality audits or the quality compliance audits. Compliance audits verify the adherence to quality standards and identify areas for improvement. And you have several types of these quality audits, such as the internal audits. The internal audits is conducted by a project team to identify the compliance gaps, for example. You might also hire an external audits to hire, for example, a third-party agencies like the ISO auditors or the FDA inspectors to inspect your project deliverables and to ensure that, let's say, to share with you the findings about the compliance level of your project with whatever standards that you've been asked to follow. Also, you have the compliance report. So the compliance report it documents all of the findings, the suggested corrective actions, and the process improvement as well. Now let's talk about managing quality deviation and non-conformance. Addressing non-compliance requires identifying the root causes and applying corrective actions. To start with identifying the root causes of quality deviations, it could be like the process flows or the training gaps or any, let's say, other issues that is causing these quality issues. Also ensure applying the corrective actions and the preventive actions. The corrective actions might include addressing the quality failures, such as the design modification. On the other hand, you have the preventive actions, which is considered as implementing a proactive measures to avoid any future issues. For instance, let's say in a construction project, if the concrete fails the strength test, the teams can conduct a root cause analysis to determine whether the material quality or its environmental factors issues contributed to the issue. Based on that, they can, for example, take a corrective action in case if that issues happened. Also, to take a preventive action by considering, for example, using a better quality material to avoid such defects. How to ensure continuous compliance in the project execution. So ensuring ongoing compliance involves the continuous monitoring and refinement of a process. The continuous monitoring, you can use the real-time tracking of quality metrics, such as we say the defect rates, for example, the user satisfaction or the stakeholder satisfaction, also by engaging the stakeholders, ensuring the alignment with the quality expectation and the client's needs. When it comes to ongoing process improvement, using lessons learned to refine the quality processes, and these lessons learned, it can be found at the previous project at your organization, and it might show in case if you have the same nature of the project, whether you are implementing a software or a healthcare project or let's say a construction project, you should have a previous projects that the project managers have these lessons learned. So you might look at each of these lessons learned and see how It can help you, improving the process, preventing you from non-compliance and the project execution. And let's take here an example on the software side, or the cloud security, where like companies like AWS and Microsoft Azure perform a real-time security audits to ensure their platforms, for example, complying with the ISO 27001 data protection regulations. And here are the benefits of ensuring compliance with the quality standards. So, as we say, that compliance isn't just about following rules, it improves the overall project performance, it reduces the legal risks and regulatory fines, it also enhances the customer trust and product reliability, as well as it improves the project efficiency and reduces the rework costs. For example, we say the escape defects. And to summarize our session on ensuring the compliance with the quality standards, we say that ensuring compliance with the quality standards is critical for the project success by implementing quality control measures, monitoring the compliance, conducting audits. So teams can reduce the risks, enhances the quality, and maintaining the regulatory adherence. Also, we say that to ensure a continuous improvement and audits to maintain the compliance throughout the project execution.